I never thought I'd watch my own brother emotionally punch my 8-year-old daughter in the face with nothing but a few careless words. We were in my kitchen, still surrounded by half-deflated balloons and paper plates with unicorns on them. The house smelled like pizza, frosting, and that weird sugary fog that only appears after a kid's party. My daughter, Emma, was still in her sparkly birthday dress, clutching her favorite new stuffed animal to her chest. She was flushed and tired in that happy, overwhelmed way kids get after a party. My brother, Dylan, leaned down, looked her dead in the eyes and said, "Maybe if you had a smaller party, Daddy wouldn't have to borrow from family." Emma's smile froze. The light in her eyes flickered. She blinked at him, confused first, then hurt. I don't want to be expensive, Daddy," she whispered, turning to me with a trembling lip. "I'm sorry." Something in my chest snapped so hard I swear I heard it. I put my hand on her back and smiled. "Don't worry, sweetheart," I said softly. "Uncle Dylan is about to learn what expensive really means." He smirked like I was joking. He had no idea. Background: the loan. I'm Jason, 35, single dad to Emma. Her mom left when Emma was 4, and it's been just the two of us for the last 4 years. We've had rough months, tight budgets, and too many nights where the only thing I could offer her was mac and cheese, hugs, and jokes to distract from the fact that the lights might get shut off next week. Things got better slowly. I got a better job, we moved into a nicer but modest duplex, and life started feeling stable. Dylan is my younger brother, 32. He's charming. He's funny. He's also irresponsible as hell. He's had more entrepreneurial ventures than I can count, which is a polite way to say he keeps jumping between jobs, side hustles, and big opportunities that conveniently always require someone else to spot him some cash. Growing up, I always protected him. I took the blame when he broke things. I covered for him when he missed curfew. I gave him money when he got his car repossessed. And when he called me 3 months ago in a panic, saying he was in a temporary bind, I did what I always do. I helped. He needed $2,500 just for a week or two to bridge a gap. He promised he'd have it back before Emma's birthday. He didn't, and I didn't pressure him. I figured, okay, I'll tighten my belt, make it work. I put a chunk of Emma's birthday party costs on a credit card, told myself it was worth it to give her one really magical day. She's 8. She's been through so much. She deserved at least one memory that didn't taste like divorce and moving boxes. I didn't tell Emma any of that, of course. What I didn't expect was for my own brother to weaponize it against her. The party itself was chaos in the best way. 10 kids from her class. 2 of my coworkers' kids. My parents. Dylan, of course. Noise, laughter. 1 kid crying over a stolen cupcake. The usual. Emma's favorite part was when everyone sang happy birthday and I brought out the cake she picked. Triple chocolate with purple frosting and way too many sprinkles. She hugged me afterward like I'd hung the moon. "Best birthday ever, Daddy," she whispered in my ear. It was worth every penny. When the last kid was picked up, the house looked like a rainbow had exploded. My parents helped gather trash and leftover food, then headed home to rest their old bones. I stayed behind with Emma, picking up plates and trying to salvage what was left of the living room. Dylan lingered. He always lingers. He grabbed another slice of pizza and leaned against the counter while I loaded the dishwasher. "You really went all out, huh?" he said, eyeing the decorations. I shrugged. It's her first big birthday since the divorce. I wanted it to be special. He snorted. "Must be nice," he said. "Some of us don't have the luxury of throwing a rent-sized party." I felt my stomach clench. "I didn't ask you to finance it," I said. "I'm handling it." He raised an eyebrow. "Right, totally. With what? That magic money tree in the yard." I gave him a look. "I'm not having this conversation right now." Emma walked in at that moment, still hugging her stuffed unicorn. Her socks were mismatched, her cheeks a little sticky with frosting, and she looked like pure joy. "That was the best, Daddy," she said. "Thank you." And that's when Dylan decided to throw his little grenade. The moment he bent down, put his hands on his knees like he was trying to be the cool uncle, and said in this fake, jokey serious voice, "Yeah, kiddo, must be nice being the star. Maybe if you had a smaller party, Daddy wouldn't have to borrow from family." Huh. He even chuckled, like it was funny. It wasn't. Emma froze. It was like someone had turned down her brightness. She looked at me with these wide, panicked eyes. "I don't want to be expensive," she said, her little voice cracking. "I can have a small party. I don't need presents. I'm sorry, Daddy. I didn't know." She thought it was her fault. She thought she was a burden. My 8-year-old daughter, who didn't ask for divorced parents or tight budgets or stressed nights, was apologizing for existing. I swallowed down every angry instinct I had, forced my voice to be gentle for her. Hey, I said, crouching down to her level. "Look at me." She looked up, eyes filling with tears. "You are never, ever a problem," I said firmly. "You hear me? You are the best thing that's ever happened to me. You don't apologize for having a birthday. Uncle Dylan said something mean and untrue. That's on him, not you." She frowned a little, still confused. "But he said." "I know what he said." I cut in. "And he was wrong. You did nothing wrong. Now why don't you go pick a movie and get into your pajamas? We'll do birthday cuddles and popcorn. Okay?" Her face brightened just a bit. "Can we watch the dragon movie?" she asked. "Dragon movie it is." She ran off, clutching her unicorn. Her footsteps light but my heart heavy. I stood up slowly and turned to Dylan. The smile on my face never reached my eyes. "Don't worry, sweetheart," I repeated, loud enough for him to hear. "Uncle Dylan is about to learn what expensive really means." The confrontation. Dylan rolled his eyes. "Dude, relax," he said. "It was just a joke. Kids need to learn about money sometime." I stepped closer. "You used my financial situation to shame an 8-year-old, I said, keeping my voice low and controlled. "That's not a joke. That's cruelty." He scoffed. "It's not my fault you're out here throwing parties you can't afford." "Oh, you mean the party I partly paid for with the money you owe me?" I asked. "That loan for $2,500 you still haven't paid back?" He straightened up defensively. "I told you I'm working on it. My client." "No," I interrupted. "You told me 2 weeks. It's been 3 months." He opened his mouth to argue, but I didn't let him. "You want to talk about expensive?" I continued. "Let's talk about the time I paid your car payment so it wouldn't get repossessed. Let's talk about the time I bailed you out when your business mentor turned out to be a scammer. Let's talk about how many times Mom and Dad covered your rent while you were figuring things out." His face flushed. "This isn't fair." "What's not fair?" I said, stepping even closer. "Is you standing in my kitchen, in front of my daughter, acting like her birthday is the reason I have money problems, when you are one of the biggest reasons I'm in a hole right now." Silence. His jaw clenched. "I'm not doing this," he muttered. "You're overreacting." "No," I said. "I'm finally reacting. The plan." I didn't yell. I didn't throw him out. Not yet. I took a breath, pulled out my phone, and scrolled for a minute. "You know what, Dylan?" I said. "You're right. Kids should learn about money. So let's give them a real lesson." He frowned. "What are you talking about?" "You'll see," I said. "But for now, get out of my house." He scoffed, grabbed his jacket, and headed for the door. "Whatever, man," he said. "Don't come crying to me when the bills hit." I smiled genuinely this time. "Oh, I won't," I said. "I'll just send them where they belong." He left, slamming the door. I looked around at the messy living room, the torn wrapping paper, the half-inflated balloons, and I knew exactly what I was going to do. Phase 1, receipts. That night, after Emma fell asleep curled up against me, snoring softly halfway through the dragon movie, I carried her to bed, tucked her in, kissed her forehead, and went back to the living room with my laptop. I pulled up my banking app. I went through every transfer, every payment, every temporary help I'd given Dylan in the last 3 years. I made a spreadsheet, dates, amounts, reasons, for $100 for his car payment, $650 for his business conference that never happened. $300 for his phone bill because networking is everything, bro. $2,500 for the short-term loan that triggered all this. In total, $8,960. $8,960. I stared at that final number for a long time. Then I wrote at the bottom of the spreadsheet, "This is what expensive looks like." Phase 2, the family group chat. My family has a group chat called The Smiths. We're not creative. It's mostly used for holiday plans, memes, and my mom sending blurry pictures of her garden. The next morning, I screenshotted the spreadsheet and sent it. Since money seems to be a topic now, here's a record of what I've loaned Dylan in the last 3 years. Total, $8,960. For reference, Emma's entire birthday party cost $347.59. There was a long pause. Then my mom responded, "Mom, Jason, is this accurate?" 100%. I have receipts for every payment. My dad responded next. "Dad, Dylan?" There was a 5-minute gap. Then, "Dylan, why are you airing this in the chat? This is between us." You made it about family when you told my daughter her birthday was the reason I had to borrow from family. So let's talk to the family." Another pause. My mom sent a single message. "Mom, I'm going to be sick." My dad, less subtle. "Dad, you owe your brother nearly $9,000 and you thought it was okay to blame his 8-year-old for his finances? What the hell is wrong with you?" Dylan tried to backpedal. "Dylan, it was a joke. You're all being dramatic." Emma cried herself to sleep thinking she was too expensive. Hilarious joke. Silence again. Then my mom. "Mom, we want a family meeting. Tonight. Our house. 7 p.m. Everyone." Phase 3, the meeting. I almost didn't go. Confrontations like that are exhausting. But I went for one reason, Emma. I drove to my parents' house at 6:55 p.m. Their living room felt smaller than usual, like the walls were leaning in to listen. My parents sat on the couch. My mom looked grim. My dad looked furious. Dylan showed up at exactly 7:10, sauntering in like this was all a mild inconvenience. He flopped into a chair. "Can we make this quick?" he said. "I've got plans." My dad's eyebrow twitched. "Jason," he said, "tell us exactly what happened. From the beginning." So I did. I described the party, the cleanup, Emma's thank you, Dylan's comment, her apology, and how she'd said she didn't want to be expensive. My mom started crying halfway through. My dad's face turned red. Dylan shifted uncomfortably. "Look, he started. I held up a hand. "No," I said. "You'll get your turn. I'm not finished." I told them about the spreadsheet, the totals, the fact that I'd taken on credit card debt because I'd loaned him money I couldn't really spare. When I was done, I slid printed copies across the coffee table. The spreadsheet and corresponding bank statements. My dad looked them over, his jaw getting tighter and tighter. "Is this correct?" he asked Dylan. Dylan swallowed. "It's close," he said. "I mean, some of those were gifts, not loans." I laughed. "Oh? I swear I'll pay you back Friday ones were gifts." I asked. "Because I have the texts too." My mom flinched. "Enough," she said sharply. "Dylan, do you understand what you did to Emma?" He shrugged. "I said one thing," he mumbled. "You're all acting like I hit her." My dad leaned forward, eyes blazing. "You told a little girl, your niece, that her birthday was the reason her father had to borrow money," he said. "You made her feel guilty for existing. That's not nothing. That is cruel." Dylan rolled his eyes. "I was trying to teach her that life costs money," he said. My dad laughed bitterly. "Oh, you want to teach her about money?" he asked. "Great. Here's her first lesson. She has a father who works himself to the bone to give her what he can, and an uncle who takes from him and then blames her." Silence. My mom wiped her eyes. "Jason," she said softly, "what do you want to happen now?" I took a breath. "I'm done being Dylan's safety net," I said. "He pays back what he can when he can. I'm not chasing him. I'm not lending him another cent. And until he apologizes directly to Emma and proves he can behave like an adult, he's not welcome at my house. Dylan recoiled like I'd slapped him. You can't keep me from my niece, he said. I met his eyes. I can and I will, I said. Because right now you're not safe for her emotionally. You made her believe she was a financial burden. You don't get near her until you fix that. My mom nodded, surprisingly firm. I agree, she said. Dylan, you will not see Emma until you sit down with her, apologize, and prove you're taking responsibility for your actions. He exploded. This is insane, he yelled. You're all ganging up on me because he chose to blow money on a kid's party instead of paying off his debt. I smiled slightly. Funny you mention that, I said, because I've already decided where your repayment is going. He frowned. What? Phase 4. The real bill. I talked to a financial advisor this week, I said. I'm opening a small custodial investment account for Emma. Any money you pay back, whether it takes months or years, goes straight into that account. My mom's eyebrows shot up. My dad's too. It'll be labeled as what it really is, I continued. Compensation for the stress and damage of having an uncle who made her feel like she shouldn't exist if she costs anything. My mother covered her mouth with her hand. Dylan stared. You can't do that, he stammered. I can and I have, I said. You're going to help fund the very expensive child you tried to shame. My dad, who had been quiet for a moment, finally spoke. And just so we're clear, he said to Dylan, your mother and I will not be giving you any more money either. Not a cent. You are 32 years old. If Jason can raise a child on his own and still try to help you, then you can damn well stand on your own 2 feet. My mom nodded through her tears. Your father's right, she whispered. We've enabled you for too long. It ends now. Dylan's mouth opened and closed like a fish. So that's it, he snapped. You're choosing him over me? My dad didn't hesitate. We're choosing the person who has acted like family, he said. Right now, that's not you. Dylan stood abruptly. Fine, he spat. If that's how it is, don't expect me at Christmas. Or anything else. He stormed toward the door. My mom called after him, Dylan, but I stopped her. Let him go, I said quietly. This is his choice. The door slammed. The house shook. Aftermath. For a while there was just silence. My mom cried again. My dad put his arm around her. They both looked older than I'd ever seen them. I'm sorry it came to this, I said softly. I never wanted to tear the family apart. My dad shook his head. You didn't, he said. You just refused to keep pretending. My mom squeezed my hand. How's Emma? She asked. I swallowed. She's better, I said. I've been telling her over and over that she's not a burden, that she deserves good things. But you could see it got in, planted a seed. It's going to take time to undo. My mom wiped her eyes. I'd like to help, she said. Maybe we can start a tradition. Every year, on her birthday, we all tell her something we love about her that has nothing to do with money or gifts. I smiled. That, I said, is the best idea you've had in your entire life. She laughed weakly. Final update. A different birthday gift. It's been 6 months since that day in my kitchen. Dylan and I are not speaking. He sent one angry text about how I turned everyone against him, and I ignored it. My parents tried a few times to reach out, but he's still stuck in victim mode. He has not apologized to Emma. He has not paid back a dime. And that's okay, because in those same 6 months, I opened that custodial account for Emma. I've been putting in tiny amounts whenever I can. $20 here, $50 there. My parents quietly started adding to it too. Last week, I showed Emma the account. See this, I said, pointing at the growing number. This is yours. For your future. College, a car, a trip, whatever you dream of. Her eyes widened. Is this because I'm expensive? She asked softly. My heart stuttered, but I answered carefully. No, I said. This is because you're valuable. There's a big difference. She thought about that for a moment, then smiled. "Can I put my birthday money in there too?" she asked. "I want future me to have cool stuff." I laughed. "Yeah," I said. "Future you is going to be unstoppable." She hugged me tight. "Am I still allowed to have big parties?" she asked. I kissed the top of her head. "As big as we can afford," I said. "And even when we can't, you'll always deserve to be celebrated. You are never too expensive. You are exactly worth it." She smiled against my chest. "As for Dylan, maybe one day he'll grow up. Maybe one day he'll show up at my door with a real apology and a check. And if he does, that money will go straight into Emma's account. His debt transformed into her security. The brother who tried to make my daughter feel like a burden might end up funding her dreams. Honestly, I can't think of a more poetic bill for him to pay."